how it feels to be a black gamer. I rarely see anybody who looks like me. The biggest games have white or white presenting characters. Just no people of color. But I love these games. We love these stories as black people. I'm doing this video because we have to start talking about this. Hey Siri, turn on Do Not Disturb. Hey guys, my name is Kyron Turner, aka GaymerONE. I'm here to talk about what it feels like to be black and or queer in this video game space in this world. How it feels to be a black gamer. Because as black queer people, we have two identities. We're black and we're queer. Now those things are together. They live in the same pot, but sometimes they're separate. So I'm speaking more, I think, to the black side of my identity. I'm not here to make anybody feel bad. I'm not here to bring anybody down. As I'm talking to you right now, I have up on my TV screen YouTube. When you go through it on gaming, the biggest games have white or white presenting characters. I could even bring out and line up all the games that I have physical copies of. Now, I buy most of my games digitally because it's just easier for me. We'll just go through them. Spider-Man Miles Morales. Amen, right? Black. Love it. Guardians of the Galaxy. Lead character, Peter Quill, white. Cyberpunk, I love this game. It is brilliant. You can create anybody you want, any skin color, but on the front cover, it's a white person. Metroid, white. Ghost of Tsushima, love it. We'll get back to that. Demon Souls, he's in armor, so it could really be anybody, right? Avengers, Hulk, white. Thor, white. Captain America, white. Black Widow, white. Iron Man, white. Kamala, amen, person of color, love it. It Takes Two white puppets. Mortal Kombat, white. Jedi Fallen Order, Returnal. And as I fumble through, Scarlet Nexus has two white presenting characters, and then Tales of Arise. Those are only out of my physical games. It gets even worse as I turn on my PlayStation, and I don't see anybody, rarely. I'm not gonna say I don't see. I rarely see anybody who looks like me. I love that Ghost of Tsushima is a game, and games like Trek to Yoni, because although not black, it is a person of color, and it's a different representation of another culture in video games. It's showing the Asian culture in full breadth of history and immersiveness into something that is beautiful and gorgeous and timeless. But then when it comes to our culture, our black culture, the culture, right? We either get culture vultured, I guess, how you say it, or we're put in games like Def Jam Fight for New York. Or where main characters like Barrett, who has a gun for an arm, who screams every time he talks very loudly, who is the most aggressive, who can be seen being told by other characters to calm down, it's not that serious, why are you yelling, things like that, right? Or Saz in Final Fantasy 13, you know, the black guy with an afro, with a chicken living in his hair. It's a chocobo, it's a chicken. Yep, prime example, Honkai Star Rail. It is a game made by MiHoYo, which are the developers. It's a Chinese video game development and publishing company. And in the game, were no people of randomly, just no people of color are in the game. No black people exist. And yet characters rap in the game.
Yo, listen up. This one's for all you pretend rappers.
And other cultural things can be seen in other games, like a Dragon Quest 11, for example, where there's an effect that makes your characters dance, and the main character, who is white, is doing the Carlton dance. Now, you could say that no, it's the Carlton dance. It's very clear. It's very clear that it's the Carlton dance. As a black queer person, or just a black person, you get used to having to put what hurt you aside so that you could enjoy everything, right? Because if I, as a black person, said, I'm not going to use anything because everything that is against black, I wouldn't use literally just anything. I wouldn't do anything. I have to put certain feelings aside or reimagine. I have to take the things that could be used against me as a black person, as a queer person, but as a black person, and make them work for me to help other black people. I want to know when we're going to be these characters who lead in fantasy with swords and magic, who are leading games where on the cover of Elder Scrolls 6, it's a black adventurer, if they have somebody, right? They usually don't. Elder Scrolls is just kind of, it's words, or Skyrim, and boom, you know. But even in Skyrim, the Dovahkiin that they had in the commercial and who you saw was a white guy. This isn't me trying to hate on somebody, you know, white people. I'm just tired. I want to turn on my PlayStation and scroll past the 80-something games that I have and see at least half of those games with somebody of color. Now, it's awesome, right? And I'm going to say this. In the Xbox Game Showcase, where they showed extended footage of Starfield, I gotta say that a lot of those games that were on there either had a black leading character or a black supporting character that was just as important as the main character leading the helm. I loved it because I truly think that it's going to take these big studios like Bethesda, Microsoft, PlayStation, you know, these companies, but these studios, these game studios within them as well, to put us in the forefront and make this happen. You know, you take a game like Skyrim or a game like Fallout or a game like Final Fantasy, Square Enix. I love it. But it's so frustrating when you tell me that Final Fantasy 16 doesn't have black people in it because we wanted to be historically accurate. I turn on my video game to escape to a different world. Video games are a fantastical world created from nothing so that we can escape to them and have a different experience. And you mean to tell me that you're going to recreate the hateful world that we live in on that screen? You mean to tell me that black people don't exist in the world where big ass dragons and icons and shit are just fighting? Where I can cast fire, Firaga out my hands out of nothing, but I can't be black? This doesn't stop me from playing these games because, again, when you were black and when you were queer and when you were black and queer, you have to turn some things off so that you can enjoy life. I love playing JRPGs. We don't exist in JRPGs. I have heard the statement, black people can't exist in, you know, RPGs. But I've also heard, well, JRPGs are made from the Japanese culture, and so, like, it's not going to include black people because it's their culture. But they have Cloud, who's got blonde hair and blue eyes. Most JRPGs have white characters with blonde hair and blue eyes. Dragon Quest has literally every single... They have Italian, they have Spanish, they have cultures I didn't even know existed, but not us. I don't get it. And I'm not trying to pick on any company. I'm not trying to pick on Square Enix or anybody because, again, I play these games. I have about 80 games on my PlayStation right now, and most of them are RPGs or JRPGs where I don't see myself depicted. But I love these games and I love these stories, and that's the point. We love these stories as black people. Pew Research Center's Teens Relationships Survey. They did a study on video games. 72% of teens play video games. This is of all teens, and it rises as of now, right? This was in 2015. You want to know the percentage by race and ethnicity? White non-Hispanics, 71%. Black non-Hispanics, 83%. We play the games more, and they're not making it for us. Does that make sense? We play the games more as black people, but they're not making them for us. I'm doing this video because we have to start talking about this. It's so hard to be a black gamer now because nothing seems to be moving or changing. Not in the areas like a high fantasy. Not in the areas like magic. Not in the areas even action adventure. And I want to see it. I want to see it. I don't think anything is wrong with that. And we can do it. I mean, movies like Miles Morales, Into the Spider-Verse, that lives in the world of fantasy, and here we have this black Hispanic Spider-Man tearing the shit up, breaking records, and he doesn't have to wield a gun, and he's not loud, and angry. He's a teenager who's lost and confused and trying to find his way and is human. We're human. We are human. And we just want to be included at the table. So to the game developers, to these publishing companies, to Xbox, to PlayStation, to Nintendo, we just want a seat at the table and to be treated like every other character. I just want to be seen in that high fantasy RPG video game. I just want to be seen through the world and the eyes of a video game as something other than this caricature of a black person, but a person on an adventure, period. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Look, don't forget to follow us on Instagram. It's The Sweet Talkers. You can follow us here, of course. Subscribe, like, comment. It's very important. You can also find me on Threads, as well as Instagram on KJT. All that stuff will be here. I'm never stopping, so you might as well just hop on the train. We have amazing things happening. Who Raised Your Hose is always entertaining. They are the best, right? Marlon, Lonnie, I love you. Makari, I love you over on Dragit. Marlon, I love you because you've taken over Dragit for now and made it your own thing. Chase Cassidy putting this all together and keeping strong with it. Tell a friend, tell a foe, tell a hoe. My name is Kyron Turner, aka GaymerONE, and waka waka, bitch. Pow, 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 pow.